Hey, it's Denise. I had my 3-week checkup on Monday. Today is Friday, so I'm almost getting to the 4-week post-op mark. I had thought the worst was behind me in terms of, recovery, healing, I thought if there were going to be any complications that they would probably be pretty soon post-op. But this last week has been rough. All my incisions are great. On the outside, everything is healed. My problem is that my stomach just doesn't feel good. The thought of drinking and eating at times just makes me nauseous. A couple days ago, it got bad enough that I couldn't even really get water down. I called my doctor's office, and one of the nurse practitioners, who is excellent, got back to me right away, kind of talked me through it, and she's like, hopefully it's just a stomach bug, and hopefully it's a quick one, because she said, well, once you've had this surgery, you only have one day that you can be sick. It's a battle to stay adequately hydrated. So when you have one day that you aren't getting anywhere near enough liquid, the next day trying to play catch up on top of getting what you missed, also trying to get what your regular amount that you strive to get in, becomes almost impossible. So her advice was, if by the next day I wasn't better, that I would need to go to either my local urgent care or hospital for IV fluids. This was like 2 days ago, was the following day. So it was Tuesday that I was sick. So Wednesday I did wake up feeling not so sick. In fact, pretty good. I am still feeling very fatigued. I know they say it's perfectly normal for like a good 6 weeks after major surgery that you're going to feel fatigued. Your body is stressed out. It's recovering. The outside might look fine, but the inside, had major trauma, had major work done to it, and it's recovering. But I just, I guess because I was feeling good the first couple weeks, I really was not. I guess I thought I would feel recovered faster. I am like dragon ass. I really don't feel like I have the energy to do anything. It's rough. I'm telling you, I was like kind of peppy the first couple weeks, and I expected that to continue, and it's been rough. And then also, when I spoke to the doctor on Tuesday, she said another possible reason for my nausea, loss of appetite, etc., could probably be constipation. Now, I should probably just give the TMI alert. Yeah, this has been an issue since surgery, and it's something like I never had on any kind of serious basis before in my life. Certainly never had to take laxatives before. And so, she was like, get out to the pharmacy and go buy some laxatives. So yesterday and today, I took them in the morning, and yesterday basically it just resulted in a whole lot of stomach cramps and nothing else. And then today it was a whole lot of stomach cramps with occasional diarrhea. And I still don't have much of an appetite. Like this morning, the nausea wasn't, I'm not so nauseous that I feel like I'm going to puke any minute, but 1 or 2 bites, like stuff that I've been finishing, like a small cup of yogurt. I'm on puree now. I've been able to, over the course of 40 35, 40 minutes to eat a yogurt. That hadn't been a problem. And now it's like I get halfway through it and I'm like, I really, really can't eat any more of this. And kind of the same is going for the water. It's just like, I had a few sips. I really feel like I'm going to be pushing it if I take the next sip. I did, on the day of my appointment, got home. I had let myself get too hungry. And I did the thing that we all say we're never going to do. Well, I ate something I shouldn't have. And I threw up. That was the first, and let's hope last, time that I throw up. I hadn't gotten sick at all during the immediate phase after my surgery, where a lot of people, kind of at least spit up a little bit or something when they're first adjusting to the water. I was very fortunate that did not happen to me. And this was totally my own fault. Here I've been perfect, pre-op. I was awesome on the diet, and post-op, I was awesome on my water, and then the protein shakes. And now it's just like the thought, I felt like it was temporary insanity, and like, not something I'm ever going to have happen again. And in fact, I even went in and made my, I'm not going to say her name yet because otherwise she'll talk to you before I'm ready. But any of you who have her know that you can customize her responses. And let's just make sure you can hear her. Alexa, what are carbs?
Carbs are definitely Satan's food.
She's right. Don't eat them. That was what led to my throwing up. Anyway, when I find myself even having a momentary, not even an actual desire to eat it hasn't even gone that far, just it passing my mind, like remembering those type of dishes that I used to like, I ask her what they are and she reminds me. I've also asked her some positive stuff. Like, Alexa, why am I doing this?
You're going to feel awesome if you stick to your healthy eating plan.
She's also got my back if I think I'm having a moment of weakness. Alexa, should I eat cake?
Sorry, I don't know that.
I obviously asked it wrong. Alexa, should I have cake?
If you eat that unhealthy crap, you are disrespecting your body and yourself. You do this meal plan to be the most awesome you that you can be.
See, a little fake reinforcement there just reminds you. It's funny, my husband asked her about the C word, and because he thinks it's hysterical. Also, on a sort of humorous, but keeping my perspective on how much I should be able to eat, and this came to me before the nausea, which, believe me, in and of itself is very much limiting. I've been working on this little cottage cheese for probably a half hour, and I don't know, you probably can't really see through light. I'm down to about here. Anyway, my other thing, and I personally think this is funny. Not everyone may think this is funny. Not that I think anyone will be like, oh my god, smiley face squeezies. That's the most offensive thing I've ever seen in my life. I look at this little guy. Well, I guess I think it's a girl, because it's reminding me of my stomach. And, I would assume my stomach's a girl. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's a male stomach trapped in my female body. Regardless, we get along fine. Anyway, this stands on one of my little glass measuring cups that I use for when I am really trying to either make myself stay right on track with the drinking, or when I'm really having to slow it down and I'm trying to keep track. It's got my dirty fingerprints all over it is what it's got. But as you can see, it's like a nice glass one. and it goes up to, like, I think an ounce and a half if it's all the way full, but basically like up to the top of, like, most of the way to the top of the markings, I should say. It's like 40 mLs to the top, so to there would be an ounce. So I can just have that there, and every 5 minutes, keep track of my watch. So this little girl stands on top of that when I'm not using it. So she's looking at me. And it's funny because if I catch myself taking that bite, that it's like, oh, this is good. And my stomach gives that first little indication of, you're not hungry anymore, that's enough. If I catch myself thinking, like, it tastes good, I could have another bite, I imagine her going, like, are you kidding me? So I have learned my lesson. I will not be eating anything wrong or overeating and making myself puke. But not again. I find this both funny and at the same time also helpful. I look over at her. When I look at my bedside table, she's standing there. So, little inspiration in the places we can find them. I have the challenge of staying hydrated. The other suggestion that ended up coming up out of the talk with my doctor, with Dr. Fuller from my surgeon's office, she and I were discussing the fact that I couldn't sleep with my CPAP machine. Those of you who have sleep apnea know what it is. I also had spinal cord damage, and I had surgery to stabilize my spine. So in this light, you don't even see it. There's a small scar there. Long story short, I sleep flat on my back without even a pillow anymore, which is so not how I slept my whole life prior to surgery. But my spine is really not comfortable. Like, if a pillow is, like, pushing your head forward a little bit, like, it has to be in alignment like it would be if I was sitting or standing up. So that means essentially laying flat. The CPAP mask, I wear the adult small. I've tried the medium. It ends up like that the air is leaking in around my eyes, or, but with the small, and I don't know if this is because the weight's coming off or what, but it seemed like I was having to just make it so tight. It's digging in over my nose, and not just like, okay, if you wear a mask, you wake up and you have that mask-shaped, red mark around your face. But in 15 minutes, it's gone. Well, I was having, like, red marks over the top of my nose that were lasting for a couple days. So I gave up trying to sleep with it. It was also, it's going to sound awful, but because of the ketosis from the liquid diet, my breath was so bad it could knock a buzzard off a shit heap. And the smell of my own breath was grossing me out. That bad. When you're wearing a mask and breathing back out into it, you smell your breath. Not pretty if you are in ketosis. Long story short, I was using it during waking hours, so that's 4 hours a day to maintain compliance with my insurance carrier, to make my quota of hours I had to use it, but that's 4 hours of waking hours that I wasn't able to drink, really. Like, every hour I would stop and, like, drink what I could drink, which is, about 2 or 3 ounces? That's obviously not enough for an hour. That's, like, pretty much what I can drink at once, and then, I have to wait. And I don't mean at once, like, in one shot. I mean, like, drink it, wait a minute, drink it, wait a minute or two, drink it, and then it's like, okay, Denise, you're done. So I'm in the process of inter-office cooperation between my surgeon, who was like, yes, get rid of the CPAP, your sleep apnea is mild, you've lost the weight, you don't even, you can get by without it. It's more important at this point. You have a higher risk of ending up in the hospital from dehydration. You've you've never been hospitalized for the sleep apnea, you got to look at the risks here, and the bigger risk is being dehydrated. So I had to then let my pulmonologist's office know that the surgeon was recommending I no longer use the CPAP because there's a whole process of returning it, because it's like a $3,000 machine that my insurance pays a monthly rental, which eventually becomes a purchase, but for them to pay it, I have to be in compliance of using it, and I haven't used it for days. So fortunately, my pulmonologist, his wonderful office person who deals kind of specifically with that end of stuff, she got him to give her a prescription saying that I'm no longer using it, so that she could fax that to Apria, that's the home care company that I use. And this way they can now, hopefully, she said they'll either get in touch with me of how to return it, or I can return it next time I'm down that way. Well, I'll be down that way in roughly another week, 2 weeks from last Monday's visit, because just so happens Apria has an office, I don't know where it is, but they have an office in the same town that my surgeon is in. So when I go for my 5-week checkup, I'm going to find out where Apria's office is and just drop it off in person. I don't want to have any chance of it getting lost or damaged while being returned. Stats. Okay. As I've mentioned before, my starting weight when I first went to the surgeon's office to meet them in February was 238. I'd been higher than that. My highest weight was 255, which I've been at 2 different points in my life. I went into surgery at 212, and I'm now, as of this morning, 200 and a half. That's right. So I'm so close to being back in Wonderland, where I haven't been in probably close to 10 years. Very exciting stuff. To finally say I weigh 1 something instead of 2 something is something I haven't been able to say for a long time. And I'm excited about that. I've seen on other message boards and stuff over the years when people do that. The closest I had gotten last year, I got down to 209 and then blew it. So, I'd see other people making that, that achievement, that step out of the 200s, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna get there. And I'm so close, 200.5. I was like trying to inch that thing over, like if I put it to 200, but no, definitely went up. It was like, who are you kidding? You still half a pound over. And then at the 200, I'll still have to like lose half a pound to get to, 199 and a half, so I can actually, I have one of those old-fashioned scales, as I mentioned, like, that you can totally manually adjust and see. I don't trust the electronics that much. Things go wrong in them. The springs can wear and you don't know the weight sensors. I trust the good old balance scale with the weights. That's what I use. And like I said, I am psyched to get rid of that 200 and move it to 150. And yes, I know that at the top, I'll be all the way back across the bar again, but it'll be in the 100s, so I don't mind starting to climb back down again. Anyway, I think I've gone on enough. I am still struggling today with both the drinking and the getting the protein in, but I'm just doing the best I can. I'm taking it easy. I took a nap for a little while, and I just wanted to check in and let everybody know how I'm doing and that the weight loss is coming. Yeah, we'd all like to look like supermodels overnight. We didn't gain the weight overnight. And I have no complaints as far as the weight loss. I'm just, I guess, impatient with myself to finish healing and with how time-consuming it is to stay hydrated. And on days that you don't feel good, what a challenge it is to stay hydrated. and to get even half of the protein that you're supposed to be getting. Anyway, I hope everyone's having a great day. Bye.